Hello, everyone. It's your favorite show, the TNN podcast. TNN stands for the New Nigerian. You all know that by now. I have a very lovely guest with us, a governorship aspirant under the Labour Party in Edo State. It's a pleasure to have her here. It will give us an opportunity to know who she is and what she stands for. Let me introduce Dr. Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor, an aspiring candidate from the Labour Party running for governor of Edo State. It's more or less like a pioneering thing, to be honest. I don't think we've ever had a female governor in any part of Nigeria. Um, we'll continue with that factor in a moment. Let us give her a chance to introduce herself. We will give her 5 minutes to introduce herself and tell us a bit about herself and her background. Then we'll go forward from there. The floor is yours, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Good evening, David.
Good
Good to
evening.
speak on TNN today. And my apologies, like I said before, if you have any breaks or any static or noise, because Nigeria is happening here in Benin City. I've got no lights and we are using the gen. The internet could fluctuate. Just finished watching the match. Congratulations, Nigeria. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations, Edo State as well. So my name is Loretta, like you said. My name is Dr. Mrs. Loretta, and middle name Oduware, which means the road to wealth and all good things has come. And my last name is a compound name. It comprises of my father's name and my husband's name. So Ogboro, Eva Boy Aro, hyphen Okor, Okor. Okor is my husband's name. I was born in Benin City some 46 odd years ago at Central Hospital, actually. And then I went to Will Wisdom Nursery School. I still remember Will Wisdom Nursery School, then Brother Pius Primary School, and I finished off at Lydia Primary School. And then I went on to Federal Government Girls College at Ugbawa, and I just crossed the road over into University of Benin, where I studied medicine in Uniben UBTH. And I'm happy because Uniben not only gave me, like I say, an academic MBBS certificate, Uniben also gave me a marriage certificate.
Oh, wow.
I met my husband in Uniben. He was one set ahead of me. And I'm really proud to say that Dr. Douglas Okor has become one of Nigeria's foremost leading neurosurgeons and poster child for brain regain. He came back from the UK as a consultant neurosurgeon over about 8 years ago. So walking back again, I'll go to the people who bettered me. My father, Richard Harold Osarubiwa Ogboro, or Ogboro, if one say, is the one they used to say Ogbo no ko. That is the Ogboro, that is the prince. And the reason is because their father, Erabo Ogboro, who hails from Umuade or Umuade, as some people will call it, Goneki and Iguiase, married the first grandchild of Obalvorame. The first grandchild of Obalvorame, Princess Josephine Uvi Ohobie. If you are in Benin, Uvi Primary School on Festy Secular is named after my grandmother. And she was in Calabar. She was in Calabar with Obalvorame when he was exiled. in 1897. And then my mother is one there, and she's also from Ekehe in Igwebe and Ubia. All right, that's fine. This internet must become stable. So, like I was saying, my mom is from Ekehe in Igwebe and Ubiaja in Esan Southeast, as well as she's also from Igoriobo in Mode. Now, interestingly, you can see the local government areas I've been telling you about, and I'm mentioning them intentionally. My father's mom, that's Princess Ubi Ohombie, is from Iyokoriowo, Ebobere, to be precise. And my father, his dad, migrated to Oredo in Lagos Street there, opposite the Moslasi or Muslim school or mosque, as you call it. That's where the Ukure, the staff of the Lakun family is there. So you can see that I span about 5 local government areas. And then I got adopted by Ikpobaoha, and that happened when my father died. I was in the University of Benin, no money. I couldn't continue medical school. So for the last 3 years of my course in medical school, I got given a scholarship by the chairman of Ikpobaoha at the time, local government area. That's Chief Douglas Uso. He's still alive. You can verify that. So I'm a true Edo State child, true and true, spanning everywhere. And I have been in the trenches. I was born by a man who established the School of Health Technology in Benin and established the first health care center with Prince Idorobo Akenzo, the famous pediatrician. In Obadan, in Edo State, my father was a public health consultant and an epidemiologist at the time. And if you look at my upbringing, you find out that it has been very colorful. So born with a silver spoon, then daddy became unwell and daddy passed on. Mommy was selling Oba Market. I was now going to Oba Market to help. So were my siblings as well. And sometimes we didn't know when the next meal would come from. In fact, some days it wants to rain and our house in Aerodrome Close, we are praying that rain doesn't fall because it's leaking. So I've understood what it means to have and not to have. And at such times, my father's words will come again to me when he said, Loretta, learn how to dine with paupers and to eat with kings. And from that early stage, I used to tell myself in the market, in Oba Market, I'll say, why are there no toilets in this market? Why don't we have small health cabins for these women and men here? Why is there no light? And I used to say to God that one day I'm going to come back when you empower me, and I'm going to join hands with my people and fix it. Fantastic. So, yes, all that years ago. So traversing the length and breadth of the world, going on to become a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, working in the NHS now for over 20 years, there's something that I have always been, and that is a proud daughter and ambassador of Edo State. And I've always worked with my people across borders, across the entire diaspora, propagating our shared Edo Stateness. And it has always been a desire within me from all those years ago, transverse to all these borders, that together we will fix our state, because Edo is Siago. Edo is the center of the world. All these other countries, where will they go? Nothing there spectacular about them. You know, they don't get what we get. Is it from the Kukuruku hills of Edo North through the Babonoliri dance moves of Edo Central to the most, fascinating earth-moving structure created by man, the moat in Edo South. We are a unique race. So why don't we actually take the table properly and own the space? And that is why I'm happy today that after so long a time, after working for people, after entrenching governments, after working with Peter Obi, I led the healthcare policy team, wrote the healthcare part of the entire Obi Dati manifesto. Even the coming of Governor Oduware Ogboro-Okor in 2020, some of us worked, even you, across party lines. We didn't care. We wanted that light at the tunnel to shine on Edo State. So today I'm here taking my place at the table, and I see myself as a light bearer, coming to ask and appeal and beg all light bearers who are sons and daughters of Edo State, friends of Edo State, those who wish Edo State well, to join us and be co-light bearers and go to Osadebe Avenue in 2024 and set Edo State up there as the true heartbeat, that city upon the hill.
Doctor, this is I have those pimples on running down me right now. You've articulated so well what would have been my first question to you, which was why do you want to be governor of Edo State? You've stated it already. Based on your diverse background, based on your educational qualifications, based on your political participation over the years, one can tell that you are qualified to take over the reins from Governor Obaseki and improve the lot of our people in Edo State. My question to you, my first question, because my audience, as soon as they knew I was going to speak with you, gave me a list of questions to ask. The very first one was, how do you plan to improve the lives of the people in Edo State? And in improving the lives of the people in Edo State, how are you going to match that with Nigeria itself?
Thank you, my brother David. See, there is something that we've not understood for a long time, and that is that governance or government a la continuum. Government is a continuum. So the current state of Edo State, if you think it's good or you think it's bad or anything in between, is actually a product of successive governance over the years. And that simply means that anybody coming out now should have gone back and studied Edo State and asked the people, what do they really want? And not assume that they know what they want. I don't know whether it's because of my background as a researcher, but this is what we did. We looked at Edo State coming from the days of the Midwest until when she was created from her sister state, Delta State. And then looking at what has been happening since, the gains, the losses, and the gaps. And then we found out something when we went on a whole of the state, anonymously, as you would do in research, you would do a survey, a sort of root cause analysis. My scientific background and my research background cannot go to waste. So we send people into the state to just ask the market woman, Madam, what do you want for the next government? To ask Papa Amina for North of Edo State, Auchi Fuga. We ask Mama Isimeme for Essence, Edo Central. We go ask Papa Osas for this side, Edo. And after they come talk, say, one thing, when we had analyzed it, one thing that went, one thread that went round everything was the fact that the people want a governor with empathy, with a human face that has value for human life. And then the people want a governor that will spend the people's money on the people. So it was based on this that we then drew up how we are going to intervene in Edo State moving forward. And looking at the gaps and deficiencies thus far, to plug them, those gains, to improve on them, and those things that were not in existence, to create them. So you can look at our intervention in a two-pillar form, or a two-mode form, or if you call a Y road, two junction. Now, the first one is spending the people's money on the people and bringing governance closer to the people. So this simply means that the local government must function effectively. Why? Because to spend the people's money on the people, a Loretta-led government has decided that basic education will be free and compulsory, and vocational education or technical education, or what people call skills acquisition education, will be taken seriously. So education not be joke for where we are at all. And the reason we say you educate people, you educate nations. You must invest in education. Basic one, no, not be saying university education not that important, but the basic one first. Then healthcare. Healthcare, we must also invest in basic healthcare because prevention is far, far cheaper, better, and wiser than cure. I'm not going to go and build white elephant projects because I want to make money. Rather, we must revamp primary healthcare, which is closest to the people. Do you know, David, that there are about 40 healthcare provision, 40,000 healthcare provision centers in Nigeria, of which 34,000 of them are primary healthcare provision centers, as it should be. That's the base of the pyramid. However, in January 2023, even the House of Reps and the upper and lower houses in Nigeria came out to say that only 80% of our primary healthcare centers are functional. Only 20% are functional. So 80% not they work across the country. And this means Edo State also shared this problem. Hold on a moment. Let me just switch my chairs. Can I have a chair? So that simply means that Edo State also has this problem. So it means that we need to make these primary healthcare centers work. And how do we make them work? The first thing is to ensure that we have capacity for health, human capacity for health. How am I going to retain the nurse or the doctor in Ikwarriahi to stay there, or the one in Itwanweme to stay there? The answer is simple. We must begin to tick out the box because we don't have enough doctors and nurses right now. Everybody don't jack back. Nobody wants to stay in rural area. So we must first make provision for those basic things, light, water, all those things we're supposed to need that primary health care, where we make our work. Then we need to train the trainers. We need to do what they call tax shifting and tax sharing. And that's simple. That simply means that all those community health extension workers, we need to get them to begin to be standardized or do what we call a professional or continued professional development of their skills. Make sure they know when to refer. So even our traditional bed care attendants, all those traditional people, we'll train them. It has worked in other African countries. So we are now utilizing indigenous manpower to manage our healthcare system from the roots. And we are going to leverage on technology. So that means if you are a teacher in the outback and you have internet facilities, you can actually even get help via Zoom in your local classes. Same thing will happen in the hospital. So that's the first pillar. Spending the people money for the people. It means that the local government will need to function, because local government is like the cell of government. It's the lowest unit of government. It's the part that is closest to the people. You know, so we must take that seriously. And that's the first pillar. THE, the technology, health, education. Now that second pillar where I talk, that one ain't just simple pass for government, but now it's still hard pass. How it is simple? It means my task not just to ensure there's a level playing field for economic growth and a snowballing of economic activities. I have no business going to be doing business as government. And what are the things we are going to do here? The things we are going to do here are what we have tagged the iPads. And this is what we got from doing our surveys. A practical example. Mama Itoya for Esan land. In the talk say, in farm not they productive again because of two major things. He not get proper water to water in crops. We know that there's a water table problem in Esan land. And he not get security for him farm. Headmen they disturb her. And she's not alone. This is a common picture. So that means that over time, we are going to face significant food security. But that food security is a symptom. It is tied to other things that are happening. Okay, that food insecurity is actually a symptom of malaise that is on the ground. And the malaise are the fact that we don't have proper infrastructure, soft or hard. No roads are leading to these places. No internet, no light. So you have the population that is productive and the population that will cater for the vulnerable, they've all left. What do I mean? When we took Loretta Health Initiative through all the senatorial districts in Edo State, we've done that. We are still doing it. Taking primary health care to the people, checking their blood pressure, giving them free medications, checking for diabetes. We found that in the hinterlands, now our papa then, and mama then, I remember for us, and they are left with their grandchildren. That youthful, productive population in the middle, they have migrated to the towns or jackbad abroad. So we need proper infrastructure, soft and hard, to keep them there. We need good roads to transport out anything that we produce in the hinterland. And we need good roads for those to be accessible. That's for infrastructure. P is for production. If we want to be producing, then we need to know that those that go to those vocational schools, those technical colleges must be taken seriously, provided for, and creating an enabling environment for them to take off. What do I mean? In Germany, for instance, they have a lot of industries. Everybody say German machine, German machine. If you like carry your certificate of worker for Germany, nobody to send you. What is in your hands? What do they produce? So just imagine, say, we get a lot of, say, mechanics when we don't graduate. What do we do to make them productive? We need to create a hub, equip it. Then for the first 2 years after graduation, they go get spaces, pieces of land for their shop. They don't need to pay rent. Their taxation for the first 2 years is reduced. What is going to happen? People begin to go to mechanic because they know the government don't put hand put for the matter. And they will now be productive and become employers of labor themselves. And then walk down that agriculture. If we see the carry hoe and cutlass for this day and age, my brother David, Mama is serious, not serious. And when I go like there, I go Oriongo. They look so underdeveloped. And the thing where they feel me be say, most times, even I say successive government, that they think say government begins and ends in Benin City. They don't understand, say, Edo State is so big. Okay, look, UK. You know, say UK now, business is full London. They don't leave those ones there. But Trident, their nuclear head, they Scotland. Then the other one, they Wales. They scatter their things to keep people in those places and diversify people to those places. So for agriculture, we must understand that we need to cultivate on a mass and industrial scale, and that we need to be able to actually walk down the entire value chain of produce. What do I mean? If you just go carry land and say, okay, we want to do corn for here, then you just harvest the corn, go sell the corn. It's a sheer waste of time, David. We need a production hub for agriculture, pari passu. So that means once you harvest that corn mechanically, people don't come by the one way they won't buy. The things will remain, even the husk, you go use it and make base for tablets. Even the husk. Then even those the people don't know say what they call the candawa that they peel from corn. Say it get huge value when you're actually making different things, like even fodder for animals. Take cassava. Cassava, you can make starch from it, make bobozi from it, make akpu from it, make bread from it. So you need to actually standardize this production, work down the value chain, and improve packaging. Now, packaging not if it make us export things. Packaging. The same thing, our palm nuts. Fantastic plants. That not the way that they throw away for palm tree. You go make room, you go get oil, you go get example, you go get kernel, you go get fantastic. We are blessed, but we never walk down the value chain. Therefore, we don't have storage facilities, we don't have all this, and that needs to change in the Loretta-led government. And then, of course, commerce is closely tied to your agriculture. And that's why I'm talking of standardization, packaging, and exporting to other states as well. And of course, when you think about tourism and our diaspora, a heavy resource. Every resource. People will say, where you see money, where you see money. Let give them one expo. Let me tell you something. Those states now, once we get our diaspora agency working, which by the way was set up by the outgoing government, but was just left to lie fallow for reasons best known to them. But by the time we get it working, and we just say, okay, we now want to do sector specific diaspora remittances. What do I mean? David, maybe as you did there now, maybe you're an engineer and you're a great son of the soil. So we've now said, all our great sons of the soil that are engineers abroad, you people want to help us, Abby? Okay, but you can't just help us off. You will still make small money, but you will do it well because it's your state. Come back. Come, let's tackle the problem of water in lakes and lands together. So it means you are going to come with your technology for artificial irrigation, for harnessing runoffs, and for directing natural flow. So make I break them down. Artificial irrigation means you go get water, you go mix them with be like fertilizer, then you begin the pump and they spray them everywhere, they make the land fertile. Tackling runoff means say when rain they fall, all those flood, all those things, you will gather them, you will direct them, channel them, purify them, and bring them back into circulation. And then obviously channeling natural sources means say all the river where it pass nearby, where it is around this land, you go begin channel them, just like the channel pipes from south, go to Kaduna, take carry oil. Why we not channel water to? Because if we have value for human life, this is what we put our money to. But the difference now is that you are calling your diasporans to say, come and help us do this. And we are going to be able to make money as well from it. Why? People still they pay water bill, but they're not they get water. So imagine they do a sector, they put their money together, 5 engineers, sons of the soil and daughters of the soil, put their monies together and do a sector remittance approach for engineering. And then you tell them, this is the projected profit over 5 years. And this is what you are going to get. And in return, the government is going to subsidize A, B, C, D for you. Tell me why people will not come. Then you go to agriculture, you go and do the same thing. Sector-based remittances. Not the one where they give money to our papa and our mama, we just they do all those ones. Sector-based remittance. People go to one. Then, even the one where they give money to our papa and mama, very good. We'll just say, come, we want to introduce our own money transfer agency. And we want to reduce commission. Commission, now £3 for $100 now for Western Union. Okay, Edo State one will be £2 for $100 if you prove that you are a daughter and son of Edo State. Before you know, all of us when we get the diaspora, we'll go take Edo State identity card. Use and take the same money. All those remittances go, they come to us. I bet David, why you think say Igwe Festival is being sponsored by Western Union? And because they love us so much, it's because of the money they make. And that becomes our money. And then look at a place like Ososo, beautiful tourist destination. And then also carefully look at the things we have. I always tell people, I'm all for returning the artifacts, yes. But let's not forget that we still have the arts. We still have it. There are still people that can create these things today. So why don't we get a mass production hall and we help them to market and export? Why? These are all ways of getting money, and these are all ways of enhancing economic growth. Simple things occur simply. So I've just told you those two big pillars. The first one, spend the people's money on the people, which is THE, technology, health, education at basic level. And then that means we must make our local government work because they are the closest and they're the ones that will audit every population that they cater for. And then you have the second big one, which is getting the economy to snowball. And that is the I part. It's simple. I for infrastructure, soft and hard. P for production, A for agriculture, C for commerce, T for tourism, arts, diaspora. And of course, S is for security. If there's no security, if there's no stability, nobody's going to come and invest. So you watch Edo State soar. And when people talk about security, they keep saying, Otedoa is hard. It's in two stages. One, we must understand that there's the concept of forced criminality. So who they hungry, who not get work, he will go thief, most likely. So when you fix a lot of those other things, some of the others will just take care of themselves. And of course, there's border encroachment, like you have the Fulani headsmen and all of that. And one of the things that they found that has propagated border encroachment is actually some of our own indigenous practices, where we indiscriminately give out lands and sell them to people we don't even know in all those hinterlands. And that is not to say it's an excuse where people come in and kill our women, men, and children. So we then also need to encourage the community to be part of the security. In UK, you have Neighborhood Watch. I see that the vigilantes have worked thus far to an extent within the state. But the problem is that they are not getting adequate remuneration and they are not actually being incentivized properly. And it's not everything that is about money. Sometimes you also just need to make people feel relevant and important. And even if it's for you to ensure that they get some sort of training that they don't pay for regularly, showing you their certificates, it doesn't need big grammar. Some of these things should be done in the local languages. You find that this pool of people will continue to grow and there will be the security amongst the people. Then, of course, the security apparatus, the state, the police, and all of that within the state need to be empowered. And we also have, you see, this is why everything dovetails into everything. We have a lot of Edo State sons and daughters who are security experts abroad. So look at a sector-based approach to development. You just get them and say, who's interested in security? What can you bring to the table? What can we subsidize for you? Can you work with the state police force? to make sure, and everything is going to work. The problem is for a long time, governance has been far removed from the people, David, and we need to bring it closer home.
This is interesting. I first of all want to commend your vision. Then I want to emphasize on a couple of things you said, starting with tourism. You know, when you were talking of tourism, I was going to mention Ososo. I was going to mention Okomu. The new king of Ososo, His Royal Highness Dele Obaita, is a friend. He came from diaspora, worked with the current administration, left the current administration, and has now been coronated as the king of Ososo. He has a vision for tourism, just like you do. And I'm hoping that at some point you will be able to work with him to improve tourism, not only in Ososo, also Okomu. The Okomu Games Reserve is not too far from Benin. I think it's 30 minutes away.
David, sorry to interrupt, but I think Dele is a great guy, and I know he has useful ideas, and I really wish him well. I know when his dad passed on, I know that with an enabling government that puts in enabling policies, look at the words I'm using, they are deliberate. It's not a government that takes over. It's that government that creates the enabling policies. I know that he's going to do magic, as would other kings and enigies and enogies across the state.
Absolutely.
And I'm so pleased that you talked about Okomu. I spent 2 weeks in Okomu. I used to be, sometimes I'll go to the tree house in the forest reserve to watch the elephants come and drink. So I'm up in the tree house and I'm seeing them beautiful, beautiful. And Okomu was home to the white-throated monkeys, very rare breeds that was going extinct in the whole world. So I've had these privileges of seeing these things when they were working. And I don't think we should fold our hands and watch them rot. We must make them work. So you are very right, sir. These are things we need to revive. I was saying the other day, and we don't revive it alone. We make the people to understand the value of what they have. Take the statue of Arwan in Udo. A week ago, bless his soul, my friend Richard Iyasere did a video. I love that statue. Okay, I love it. It's beautiful, symbolic. Where he was using the palm tree to sweep, like it was mythically recorded.
Absolutely.
And then around that statue, there was litter, pure water, sachet, everything. And I said to myself, this is wrong. This is an edifice of importance, of value. Even the people around should be made to know the value of what they have and help keep it clean. That again is local government working with the enogies or the enigies, depending on how you want to call them, and making that place palatable with an enablement from the government of the day. So these are small, and I'm really glad that you are mentioning them. But you see, I've traversed Edo State so much that there are very few things you mentioned that I don't know where they are or have not been there in the States.
I want to pick on something else you said. The new Nigerian, the reason why we formed was part of what you're already doing, what you've been doing, which is enabling the best of diaspora to work with the best in Nigeria, to create that enabling environment to become a new Nigeria. For example, you mentioned the diaspora people, engineers, doctors, coming back home, the ones that are from Edo State, coming back home when you as a governor have created that enabling environment. to contribute their quota. It's a very important aspect of governance, governing for the people, by the people, enabling the people to be able to contribute towards the building of the state. You mentioned something about the diaspora committee or not functioning at the moment. Yes. So I'm happy that you're going to revive that. I'm happy you're going to be working with diaspora. What support do you need from the people of Edo State and the people in diaspora to enable your campaign, to enable your success, and to enable your governance when you become governor?
Thank you, David. I like your summary and the way you've actually put it all in. No one person can go the road alone. There's an adage that says, do you want to go quick or do you want to go far? If you want to go quick, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And it's even simple. When you are driving on a journey, if you have companionship in the car, you don't know when you arrive. But if it's just you, it's like a long, lonely road. So growing up, I've never thought I could do anything by myself. And interestingly, being a gynecological surgeon, in theater, once I'm scrubbed up, I'm actually the most vulnerable, even though you think I'm the lead. The reason is because if my team don't put the scalpel in my hand, if the anesthetist doesn't put the patient to sleep or numb the area I'm going to work, if the scrub nurse, if the theater runner doesn't get the things, if the ODP doesn't turn on the lights, I'm not going to be able to do a successful surgery. And even after the surgery, if the patient doesn't have adequate post-op care, then all my work is rubbish. So I have always understood the meaning of teamwork. And this is where every Edo State person, and when I say Edo State person, citizens of Edo State, either by birth or by living in Edo State and adopting Edo State, friends of Edo State, even those that are married to Edo State people, this is where we all should come together to come and support this woman with a vision to change the lives of people and make us understand the meaning of value for human life. I don't want to speak any big drama. I'm not big to am alone. I first talk when we start. Now, the thing where we fit do as diaspora, and for the records, for me, for a Loretta-led government, the definition of diaspora is not just people that are abroad. If you are from Edo State and you Port Harcourt, you be diaspora. If you take Cameroon, you be diaspora. So everybody when not there inside Edo State now diaspora. What we can do is to understand, we need to first understand that the development of nations across the world since the beginning of time has been hinged on the collaboration of the diaspora and the people that are internally resident in the place. So there should be no superiority. Say, let me better pass. No, because we need to understand ourselves and form a synergy. Let's go back in time. Take Rome. You see all those Romans, they just fight war, they conquer this one, they conquer that one. They were remitting all the monies back to Rome. Look at the Greeks. The same thing. Alexander the Great conquer war. There was no more war to conquer. You think all the things he was conquering, he was sending the money back home. Now look at colonization. Colonialism was a diaspora effect to develop the home countries. When Britain came and sacked Benin in 1897, where did they carry all the things to? Home. Now let's come to modern day. When you are filling the American visa form, what are they doing? They are actually making you their ad hoc diaspora and siphoning you back into America. irrespective of the skill you have, or Canada. It may interest people to know that the oldest diaspora body in the world is Haiti. They have the oldest, Google it, you see it. They have the oldest functional diaspora body in the world. And then look at them when they have their natural disasters. See the massive response. See how they raise money quickly. They're going to wonder me. I'm going to say, how this is, I can't research them. I don't see them. Look at China. China has a massive diaspora. And of course, look at the Jews. They are everywhere. But they never leave Israel alone. Israel does not walk alone. So the same thing in Edo State. And I'm appealing right now. Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor cannot walk alone. Now at the beginning, and even when the government comes in place, to the glory of God, I cannot walk alone. It's teamwork. So I appeal to everybody hearing my voice right now. I am not a politician that stole money and laundered it and kept it away somewhere to come and recycle in an election cycle. I didn't do 419. I haven't stolen any money. I have a second address. I have an occupation. So I'm appealing for people to actually understand that if we want our future to be better than what it is today, I need to be given the chance to come and bring all of these skills and knowledge to the table with us all as a team and equal partners in reviving our shared Edo statements. And of course, when the government comes on board, led by Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor, it is a continuum of seeking help and appealing to all of us. So please come and join in. And we are going to make sure that there's that ease of joining in and all your ideas are welcome. No government runs on oil. No campaign runs on oil. The funds are needed and they can all be unleashed. Don't think, oh, what does she know? Why is it her? It can be you tomorrow. We just need to be bold enough to take our places at the table so that we can shake the table. You can't shake a table that you are not at. And for many years, we've left a vacuum at the table. And you know, then they do the politics, not knowing that we are shortchanging ourselves because you then have the worst of us leading the best of us. When instead we can synergize with those worst of us, make them better, and have better value for human life when we are all at the table. So I do need help. I need everybody's help.
I appreciate what you just said. Everybody coming together and making Edo State what it should be. It's almost 40 minutes. I don't want to keep you too long. Just another couple of questions. Why Labour Party? I understand there's a lot of candidates vying for the ticket. Why Labour Party? Why Peter Obi? What are the values that you share with the Labour Party? What are the values you share with Peter Obi? If you espouse on that, I'm sure the audience will appreciate where you're coming from.
For me, Labour Party, because if you even look at the logo, it's Mama, Papa, Pikin. It was the one logo where I saw myself. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter. Then if you look at their slogan, equity and justice for all, I stand for that. That's what I've been raised to live by. Even in my work as a doctor, I'm trained to actually try and distribute scarce resources to who needs it the most. So over time, there came a man called Peter Obi onto the Labour Party platform because he didn't think just like me that the other vehicles, the other party at the time, at the place where he will have his dream for a better Nigeria with equity and a representation of what his mind conceived work. So for me, I saw that in the Labour Party. However, in recent times, The Labour Party has had its rumblings, internal quarrels, factions and divisions, as have the other parties as well, you know. So I'm hoping that with time, as we go on, these are going to be resolved and we'll have a better vehicle. It's like servicing your vehicle or doing an MOT. So I'm hoping that the Labour Party will do that and that I will continue to see myself in this vehicle, that is the Labour Party. There is no perfect human being, but I think Obi has shown that we can bring governance close to the people. And a lot of us in the diaspora understands how that can happen, how your prime minister can ride a bicycle, see you at the corner shop, say hello, and you don't have thousands of convoy. Because the cost of governance is also too huge. We need to sort of cut it and have a frugality. And all of these I saw in the Labour Party and Peter Obi, and I pray that it continues. I pray that they surmount all of this. However, I must say today that I've often said that those who will change Nigeria are going to be bad people who want to do good. Now ask me why I say that. Currently, the politics in Nigeria is one of no value for human life, one of just money, one of, but there are pockets of sanity, pockets of light minds, pockets of critical thinking. So we need these figures and people who have said, oh, enough is enough. Let's harness this pocket. Let's harness this critical mass. And let's all be the change that we want to be and that we want to see. Those people may have been bad before. Those people may now decide, I want to do good. So that is why you also find that people are saying that in Edo State right now, these politics at the end of the day may not even be along party lines. It probably is going to be about the person, the phenomenon, and what that person stands for. And there I actually have no doubt that a Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor is that light bearer, that beacon of hope that many are going to see across party lines. I see myself as a consensus candidate across party lines.
Excellent, excellent. Quick fire questions. My son said I should ask all of this. What's your favorite color?
I love that question. My favorite color is earth brown. Earth brown. I'm very much in touch with all things nature.
Excellent.
All things,
What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport. Oh my favorite sport is actually watching tennis, but I'm not playing it.
Brilliant.
I'm a fan of the Williams.
What's your favorite food?
Eba. I love eba.
With
egusi soup, but not egusi soup when they just cook. Egusi soup when you cook today, you let it stand. You'll eat it tomorrow.
I like that. What's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time. There's I'm trying to remember the name. It was Gooding Jr. But it's just flown out my head. Where he was in the Navy and there was racism.
Cuba Gooding Jr. I know that movie.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. I will remember it. I will remember it.
Let's move on. What's your favorite car brand?
My favorite what?
Car, the type of car. What's your favorite car brand?
BMW.
Oh, right. What model?
Oh, I had an X6, so I go for the latest models.
Beautiful, beautiful. The BMW is a fantastic car. I had the opportunity to drive quite a few of them. Let's
Yes.
end this podcast. Of course, there will be many more. Let's end the podcast by you telling the audience how we can support you, where to go to support you. If you
Yes,
want to give us
remember the
all
film,
those
Men of Honor. That's the
m-
film,
men
Men
of
of
honor.
Honor.
I'll
Yeah,
make sure I watch that so the next time I speak with you, I talk about
yeah,
it with you. Okay. So where do we
yeah.
go to support you? So you're talking to diaspora now. Funds, campaign, anything to do with your campaign. How do we support you? How do we reach you? This is your opportunity to tell the audience.
Excellent. So we have a website, but currently it was hacked. So it's been fixed. We have social media handles. I'm on Facebook, Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor campaign. Just type it in, you will see that. We have a GoFundMe that some friends have set up who believe in the cause. I'll send you the links as well. And we have the Loretta Health Initiative website is up and running, and that is still ongoing, where we actually side by side with the campaign continue to do what we've done over the years, which is giving back to society. And I think there's a donation, what's it called? A donation button
Portal.
on there. So just Loretta Health Initiative, LHI, just type that in and it will come up. Or you can actually reach David to reach me privately. Because I also found that some people say, no. I don't just want to give money into coffers that I work in Miami on all of us. I actually want her to know that I donated. And I mean, to those kind of people, I say thank you. Honestly, I do appreciate it. You can read David, you can get my number, you can get the account details at that point if you want it. People are different, and I can't understand why.
It's been an interesting almost 1 hour. I know you're a busy lady. We really appreciate you taking the time out to speak with the audience and espouse who you are, your vision, the reason why you believe that you're qualified to become the Edo State governor. We appreciate your time, and we have to leave you so you can continue your campaign and continue with your day. I'm really grateful. Obviously, we must try and have a part two. Last word to you, Doctor.
Well, thank you very much, David. I want to spend this last word actually thanking men and women like you. And ask me why. Men and women like you actually give voice and give wings to people like me, to ideas, to propagating what is good for our nation, our state, and our people across the world. And you do it at your expense, financial expense, time, your family time. You know, I can even hear questions from your son, our next generation. You know, so I must thank men and women like you, and I continue to remain indebted to men and women like you. We need more of you.
I'm grateful. I will now end the recording part of our conversation, spend a couple of minutes with you. Let's round up together and then I'll let you get on with your evening. So there you go, audience. Once again, Dr. Mrs. Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor, future governor, maybe first of its kind, first female governor of Edo State. Let's do our bit to support. Okay? You guys have a good evening. It's been a pleasure.